Park, New York, with spiritual healer Suzanne Suchan.
Hi, everybody. So little about yourself.
Now we're going to give some people some time to chime in. Let me just make sure this is adjusted. We got 3 cameras going here.
So let everybody know we're on Facebook Live.
We're on live.
We're going to give you a
bunch
minute.
of people. I'm going to wave at your people. Hello, everybody who just joining us. For Suzanne, welcome, welcome, welcome. Greetings to all. We're going to give a couple of minutes for people to chime in.
Isn't my office so awesome?
I know, I love the office here. We're gonna also do a live scan of her office, and we're gonna go over a bunch of topics. But today's topic is, if you're not familiar, we're talking about healing your energy and chakras and color therapy. All right, myself, if you're not familiar, myself, eco-friendly artist, eco designer Tamora Lee, in conjunction with Suzanne. So, Suzanne, I want to start off by you basically introducing yourself, your practice, your experience, and basically, I'm in a beautiful setting right now, and go over that and what you have to offer in your services with healing energy and chakra.
All right, should we get into it now then?
Yes.
Go right into it?
Yep. Well, first, let's start off with your background, who you are.
Right, I just want to make sure we had enough time for
Okay.
people who want to watch to be clicking
So-
on and watch. Run and tell it.
I'm just making sure. Hello, everybody
Time's
joining on
ticking.
Suzanne's channel. You got everybody here, too.
All right, hi everybody. I can't see any names. So hello, and hello. Hello.
And if you're just chiming in, I'm going to shout out some names for her. I'll shout out to Don Bird. Hi, Debbie Sames. Just bring some names from your thing. Harold. Shout out to Harold. Deb Green. Jerry. I see you. Hello, Jerry, joining us. John. Yvonne.
My peeps! Come on, peeps! All right, I'm
Nicholas,
so excited.
I see Debbie. I see Stacy. Hello. And I see Jerry. So I better make sure you just welcome to everybody. And if you're just meeting me, you hear the voice behind the camera. My name is Tamora Lee. I'm an eco designer, and I actually create art that can be used for healing chakras. We're going to go into that. But first, I wanted to introduce Suzanne in her practice. She's a very wonderful lady. I've known her for so many years. So introduce yourself, Suzanne, and your practice and your location and what you have to offer.
All righty. Well, hello and welcome, everybody. My name is Suzanne Suchan, and I am a spiritual healer, an intuitive. I'm just fun. So if it's like cool and it's woo-woo, I do it.
And hold on, we got more shout-outs. I'm just keeping tabs. Everybody's just joining in. Shout out to Laura Vasquez, Tony. Shout out AK Tony, Switch. All the rebels that are just chiming in as well. I didn't forget you. I'm going to be name dropping. If you guys have any questions, you can actually put them on here as she goes into what she does. And then we can go, as we proceed, she'll be answering those questions.
That's super cool. I love
Shout out to all the
questions.
rebels. So welcome to the live feed. This is a live feed. We are talking about healing the chakra, energy healing. What is chakras? What type of art form that you can use to hit. Color therapy is one of them. Myself, eco artist, creative artist, I'm big into color therapy. So once again, we're going to start over with Susan Suchan.
All right. So hello again. Hopefully you have enough time. It's 7:07, so hopefully that's enough time. We're going to get into it. So this is my office. This is my private practice. I do energy healing. Everything I do is like metaphysical and spiritual, and it didn't start that way, but that's where I am right now. So I do work with your energy. I can actually like tap into your energy and kind of tell you what's going on with yourself. And then the healing modality I use is I actually learned under Jerry Sargent of Star Magic Healing. So this is not Reiki. Although I have my Reiki certifications, that is not the modality that I'm using when I'm doing an energy healing with you. And I can do it anywhere on the planet. I've done very successful healings in Ireland and Germany, and one today for somebody in Washington. So it doesn't matter where you are because you're tapping into a certain frequency. So I also do tarot readings. It's not woo-woo at all. And I do psychic mediumship readings. Sometimes when I'm doing an energy healing, I might see a past life there. I might see other versions of yourself in certain chakras. Last week I was doing a healing for somebody. I found a penguin in their heart chakra. So you never know what you're going to find out, but it's very, very fascinating. And I can't tell you how much I love my work. And if you're a client of mine, you know how much I love.
Now you have an interesting story on your on your road to energy healing. Go into that. What made you begin your journey? Everybody have an epiphany or that moment of, I would say, awakening. You can have many awakenings, but what was that one? And how did you get started in this field? And,
Yeah, that's a loaded question, but it's important. So back in the day, I actually was in a really, really abusive marriage, like bad. And I was in that relationship for a total of 22 years, master number. And I've been out of it for 11 years, another master number, wink. But after I got out of that marriage, I did some really deep soul searching. I really didn't know who I was anymore. And then one day I just kind of had woken up saying, you know what? You're protecting their family when you were the one needing protection. And I decided I didn't want to live like that anymore. I had always loved astrology, which I forgot to mention. I'm also an astrologer. So that was one of the first things I did, is I started to look at patterns of criminal charts, astrological charts. I would look up criminals and really bad people. And it's super cool that I found commonalities in people's charts that may possibly be prone to criminal behavior. And then I also found about myself, people who are empathic, who are sensitive to energies and who can empathize with people. Well, an empath and a narcissist are almost like a horribly toxic but destined love affair. And it's horrible. So that was what my situation was. So I got back into astrology and then started to do readings. I got to give a shout out to Cassandra Butler, because she was the first person that I saw when I was still in a dark place, and I was like really, really skeptical and angry. And we were at an event, and I had gotten some birthday money, and so I kind of laid down my money, and in all of my anger, without saying it this way, what was behind my eyes was, tell me about me. Well, darn it, she did. She told me about my mom who passed away and all these other things. And then a cardinal flew by, and I was just like crazy insane. And so then I was like, teach me everything you know. And so I started learning most of everything from the beginning point. Started with Cassandra, and then it's gone up from there. And then I wanted to understand about stuff you can't see. So in came energy healing touch, Reiki, that kind of thing. And it didn't make a bunch of sense to me because you can't see it. And if this is something I'm interested, I don't want people calling me a phony or a quack. So I had to make sure it was really legit. Now, like, I'm good. I don't care what anybody thinks. So even if somebody doesn't believe in what I do, that's okay, because my clients know what I've done for them. It's amazing, incredible work that's undeniable.
Now, you just said a key word, and I myself, in numerology, astrology, but I take it a step further, connecting the historical aspect with geography, linguistics. And you said one key word that a lot of people don't understand when people are speaking: belief. A lot of times with the word belief, that opens the door to doubt of healing in itself, because those are man-made words that partner with a lot of religious order. Yeah. So I know you have to rewind back. What is energy healing?
Energy healing is the ability to tap into a certain frequency with your will, with your intention. It's all based on intention and unconditional love. So you tune your dial like a radio in your mind and with your intention, and you go to a particular frequency and you tap in to that energy field. Now, Reiki, very, very popular. For me, it wasn't enough. I needed more. But Reiki taps into the Earth's quantum magnetic field. That's well and fine. Mm-hmm. Beyond that is the angelic realm. So that's super cool too. And that's where we have ascended masters. And then outside of that is Stargate. And it's the Stargate frequency from which that I tap into and use that. So I tap into these frequencies, and from there I use light codes of consciousness and my intentions. So I can think particular colors. Well, colors are frequency, also are notes on a scale. If you think about it, and that's why even with singing bowls, there are certain notes that correlate with each of your chakra centers. Now, we have over 100 chakra centers in our bodies. Most people don't know that, but we focus on the main 7.
Now let's rewind to. I'm going to pause you in between because I always like to do stuff with the assumption that people don't know, and I always, if people know me on Facebook, I can't stand dummies, so there's no excuse for you to be a dummy in 2019. What is chakras?
Oh yeah, yeah, I didn't mention that. So chakras are transmission centers where information is exchanged. So we have over 100 in our bodies. We focus on the main 7 chakras that begin at your perineum, at the end of your tailbone. That's where they begin, and they are developed chronologically up. The heart is the center transmission. The ones below it is the earth energy. The ones above it is moving you towards ascension and spiritual energy. So energy healing is not a religion. Anything that I do is not a religion. Astrology is not a religion. None of that stuff. Because I hate rules.
Let's repeat this again. Let's repeat that part.
Chakras?
About the not religion.
Yes. All of this stuff, like the stuff that I do, working with energy healing, this is not a religion. And it's not even a belief system. It's a knowing. I can turn my radio head dial to a certain frequency and send energy healing. This has nothing to do with religion. I hate rules, and I was raised loosely Roman Catholic, and you know, the best thing for you to do is question everything. See what works and resonates for you. Yeah. That's what.
Now, what is frequency? Energy. Let's go there.
Everything is energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It could only be transmuted. So even if you have a piece of paper and you burn it, it is now ashes. The ash might go into the ground, and it might come up in a plant, and a bird might eat it, and it might poop it out, and it might end up in the garden, and it might be something else, and you might be digesting it. So everything just goes round and around and around. Energy is eternal. You cannot destroy energy. Now, frequency is just tuning into a certain wavelength. So like we have like microwaves and radio waves. So you're tuning your own intention to how you get trained to do this. And so Reiki is the Earth's magnetic field. And this is a blend of constellation or Stargate energy with Mother Earth's energy. And the healing work that I do is based on sacred geometry. And ascended masters come into play all the time.
I love that. That is like one of my favorite topics and to things, because I know we did speak about, we're going to go over the color therapy, but I want to give people a one-on-one basis of, you know, what is an actual energy healer? What is our chakras? What is frequency? How does that impact our day-to-day life as far as metaphysical?
I'm so glad. What a wonderful opportunity this is. So we're really impacted by colors. If you have anything to do with advertising, you know that. Like, look at McDonald's. It's like red and yellow. It like gets your attention. So advertisers and media and everybody with lots and lots and lots of money know how to manipulate colors and patterns to get you to
feeling emotion. Yeah, psychology. They call it psychology of marketing.
Yeah, that. And I got books of stuff that I've printed off on the internet, and it fascinates me. It's super, super cool. And there was one Christmas season that I worked at Target overnight, and I was looking at like the backdrop of the pegboard paper, and I was just noticing how it made me feel, and so that kind of opened things up, and I just couldn't. I went down that rabbit hole. So the first chakra, if we want to talk about that now.
We're gonna go into the 7 chakras. What are the 7 chakras?
Okay, so the first chakra is called the root chakra, and it's, as I mentioned, it's in the perineum, so I can't show y'all, but it's at the end of your tailbone. Okay, now the associated color for that is red. It's the frequency of red. And this is formed. This is good stuff. So listen, This is formed when you are only a matter of cells in your mother's womb.
You can show them the red one on there.
Way before. Yeah. I'm going to place you can put
them.
Chair.
Yeah.
Way before you have consciousness, before you have a spine. Okay, so as you're developing, and especially the last trimester and first couple years, you're in theta mode. So you're in hypnotic state. You're in a hypnotic state. You just absorb. You're not consciously aware. So all of these programs are being put in. You don't know. You don't know any better. So if your caretaker was there and available for you every time you cried, that's an awesome thing. But like above my generation, they say, oh, let them cry. Worst thing you can do, because what it's teaching that baby is that the universe will not provide for me. I am not worthy. Maybe I don't belong here. Most of us have a messed up root chakra. Most of us go through our entire life not knowing we've got a dysfunctional root chakra. And the result of that is that we work 1 billion hours a week. And we've got all these jobs. And no matter how much we work, it's never enough. And so subconsciously, we think it's the right thing to do by working hard. Because that's the way that we were trained. Because that is what our parents did. And we learn from what we see. We learn from our environment subconsciously. Well, when we feel that no matter what we do is never enough, well, then we end up getting depleted of our energy. We get exhausted. We get fatigued. And our adrenals blow out. And so that root chakra down in the bottom here, it governs all the lower extremities. So people who've got a messed up chakra have issues with the bones, the lower lower back, the hips, the knees, the ankles, the feet. And here's another little interesting side note. Your left side is the receptive side. It's your female side. Okay, most of our receivers are broken. Most of us don't allow ourselves to receive. But we know all about giving. We're giving, giving, giving. And especially if you're women, we are trained to always make sure everyone else is taken care of. And then what about our needs? We put them on the back burner. There's always tomorrow and there's always next week. And now what? 20 years have gone down the road and you're miserable and sick. That's what ends up happening if you have an unhealed root chakra. So the color associated, one more time, is red. So when we have an under or an overcharged chakra, after a healing session with me, or if you don't even want a healing session, I'll advise you to bring more red into your life. And I might give you some affirmations or mantras. I do deserve to be here, and also you chose to be here. So you have a responsibility to fill the mission that you have set when you were incarnated in this place. So red, a lot of times we think red is bad. Well, red is the initial instinct. It's survival. So this is fight, flight, or fight. Flight, fight, fight, fight. It's those. It's the basic instincts. So if your basic needs are not being met, you don't have a healthy root chakra. Yes, I can do a healing for you. But if you don't want that, you can just put some red in your environment, as simple as a sweater or even some throw pillows. Just bring that color into your life. Here's something else. If you think about your favorite color, odds are you're really strong in that chakra area. If you think about what color you hate the most, you need that color in your life. So there's something to think about too. And you can Google a lot of this stuff, but I love to guide you along because it's interesting and it's for your own health. Okay, so that is the root chakra. I do have a little cheat sheet in case I missed something. So an underactive root chakra, you are fearful. Oh yeah, and you don't trust people, so you're very much, and you're not open to new ideas. You don't want to hear it. And then an overactive chakra, materialistic and greedy, obsessed with being secure and resisting change. Okay? Are there any questions or should I continue?
I'll continue.
All right. Now, next up is orange. Okay? And this is called the sacral chakra. And this governs your reproductive system, Okay, we can also tie this into astrology. That is tied to Scorpio.
Me, hey.
All right, now, if you didn't have a perfect root chakra, which none of us do, and if there was any abuse or neglect in your childhood, in your environment as a child, odds are you've got a leaky or a misshapen or an under or overcharged orange chakra. Okay, now when this happens, we feel inadequate and we don't feel comfortable in relationships. Not only partnerships, although that's a big one, but relationships, because we worry about that how we see ourselves is how others see us. We think that. So we don't develop a healthy relationship with ourselves. When that one develops, that is when the child distinguishes me from you, mom and dad. It's a sense of independence.
Now that's the orange.
Yes, it is the orange one.
Let me see.
Ooh. That was a little bit sticky. Ooh, look at this one. I'm going to hold this one this way. A lot of people who have been in an abusive relationship have an overactive orange or sacral chakra. One of the outcomes of that is they become very clingy. They're afraid that whoever they're wanting to be in a relationship is going to go away. So if they don't answer you right, if they don't answer your text right away or your call, you're like, you get all kinds of crazy about that. Another very important thing for people who don't have a healthy orange chakra, and this comes from generational 2, is that you don't feel that you can enjoy life. You don't feel that it's okay to have fun. When we want to do something for ourselves, we might hear that ego mind, or we might hear dad or mom saying, you can't do that. Who do you think you are? You can't have fun. You have to work. That's an unhealthy and unbalanced sacral chakra. Let me look at my cheat sheet. Okay, so let's see here. It governs procreating. It's the groin area. Underactive is closed to enjoying the sensual and the sexual joys. And creativity is diminished. That's also the seat of your creativity. And then overactive is emotional and clingy. So this is kind of like how our emotions are when it comes to other people. A lot of times I just find it's just leaky. It's all over the place, and it's not healthy. So yes, again, this is something that I can do healing for you to bring these into balance. And outside of that, and if you hate orange, it's because you need it. Believe it or not. Okay, so pay attention to what you don't like, because you don't like it because your ego mind doesn't want change. It doesn't want to improve, but your soul will love for you to bring in those colors, because there's something in that frequency that you need. Okay, so get an orange jacket or orange socks or orange underwear. It doesn't have to be something big and blatant, or like I said, a throw pillow, or get some of this art. That's always a good idea too. All right, so that is the sacral chakra. Next up we have, ooh, I saw it somewhere. Oh, yellow, right behind me here.
There's one here too.
Okay, now yellow. Ooh, look at this one. Oh, this is so happy. Okay, so yellow. Okay, my main chakra color is yellow. I just gotta admit. I didn't always like yellow though, because I didn't feel in my position of being at one with myself. That is what the yellow chakra governs, and it's called the sacral. No, it's not. It's called the solar plexus chakra. Okay, and it's right below where your ribs come together there. All right, the color is yellow. People who have a lot of yellow, think about when somebody comes into a room and lights up the room. Those people have a strong yellow chakra. Now, all of these chakras can be in balance or out of balance. Somebody has too much yellow, it's all about me, and they got a big fat head and a big old ego, and they don't let you have the time of day. And we all know somebody like that. Okay, but an undercharged yellow chakra, we don't have confidence. This is the center of our will. We don't feel good about ourselves. We label ourselves. Now, when I go into people's energy and I look at that yellow chakra, a lot of times I see tally marks on there because you're keeping score. You're writing notes about yourself. And it's other people's beliefs, which has the word lie in it, other people's beliefs about you that you have taken, probably subconsciously, as fact. And so you've become programmed that, no, you are not all that. Be quiet. I don't want to hear you. No, you're not important. No, you can't be yourself. Don't stick your neck out. No. And that keeps us small. So see how this goes? So yellow is our will. This is our personality. It's our ego. It's just below the heart. Let me look at my cheat sheet. Okay, emotional center. An underactive one, this person is passive and timid and submissive. Lack of proactivity, feeling of not being in charge, feeling victimized, and a low self-esteem. All right, so if I shut up for a minute and practice the pause, you can process that. And then, as I had mentioned, an over one, these people are just domineering and they just want to like steamroll you and not let you feel good about yourself. This is so happy. All right, so now those three that we just talked about, those are they're the body, they're the earth chakras. Now, if you want to split hairs, they each have one of 4 elements that it governs, and that depends on whose lens you want to look through, Eastern, Western, all that. I don't split hairs. I just know what I know. I don't subscribe to beliefs or religion. I know what I know. Okay, so next up we have the heart. Most important one. Now let me tell you this. I bet you didn't know this. The young people born nowadays don't even have this root chakra.
Wow.
And we can actually, with a lot of focus work, we can dissolve our chakra.
So why is that?
They have been placed there as a method of control. We're being controlled with our emotions.
Okay. I get
So
that.
we don't need them, but we need our heart. We can go around with one. If everyone was just a heart, this world would be a beautiful, harmonious place. So your heart is a gateway to just everything. I have seen people who just have come from other galaxies when I'm doing their energy healing, and I'm like, oh my God, your heart is just amazing. It's really crazy what I find when I'm doing this energy work. It is so cool and so fun. So the color for the heart is green.
Okay, I got that.
When I do healing work, I like to use lime green, although it doesn't have to be. Just any green. Oh, this is lovely. You have to see it. I want to look at it though. Okay, so green. Green is growth, it's health, it's wellness, it's healing. Green is the color of healing. So if I'm looking at, I have this device that measures your energy. And a lot of people will be immediately surrounded with a lovely green hue. These people a lot of times are healers. All right, so green, now green where your heart is, this is where we hold on to sorrow, people that we've lost, forgiveness. That's a big one. We hold on to forgiveness, and of course, the most important thing is forgiveness of the self. This is where we think about, oh, I shouldn't have done this, and I did that, and I hurt that person's feelings, but they deserved it. And you might just get into this whole little whirlwind. Well, guess what? It takes up space in your heart here, and so when you have a heavy heart, to me, it's almost strong enough to be physical. But it really, truly does weigh you down. Now, when these things get out of balance, it will, if they go unchecked, it will eventually manifest in an illness. So, if somebody is not speaking up for themselves, I'm down here, I'm thinking something else. If somebody is not speaking up for themselves, which I didn't get to that one yet, they'll have a backed up throat chakra. I'll just park that because otherwise I'll get off on a tangent because I'm really bad. Oh, a squirrel! I'm bad like that. Okay, so green. All right, so if you have an undercharged heart, you're very cold. You're very bitter. And again, a lot of this is from the programs that have been placed in there. How much do you give of yourself, but to yourself? Most people do not love themselves. And some people just scratch their head and they're like, what does that mean? How do you do that? That is also a workshop that I teach. Okay, so an undercharged heart is cold, it's rigid. It does not forgive, and it holds on to grudges, which is heavy and it weighs you down. Okay, now an overactive heart is like overbearing and overpowerful and kind of wants to smother you all the time, and you probably all know somebody like that. So a nice, healthy, balanced heart loves the self. You know what? You're a divine being. You are a divine being. You are perfect as you are right now. Not who you want to be and not who you used to be right now. You are perfect. So you have to know that and feel that with your heart. We want to get out of our head. Our head gets us into trouble. When you drop into your heart and you open your heart and you feel unconditional love for yourself, you can give it to others freely. And you don't keep track because it's not important.
That's true.
So I don't need my cheat sheet for that. I got that one down pat. That's the most important chakra in your whole system. And I do find grudges. I find grudges. I find people who have passed on. We'll get to that spiritual one. And that's where those people who have passed on come to visit you. We'll get to that. All right, so that's the center. That is the heart. Okay, now the next one up, we move up, is our throat. And the color is blue. A nice light blue. Like that one.
Yeah. That's the ending.
Now when I, this is beautiful. When I do healing work, I like to use electric blue energy. Just because like what I'm wearing! It matches. So electric blue, your throat chakra, is the seat of communication. I often find in here negative stuff. I found the throat folded in on itself because it's not saying very nice things. You're not saying very nice things to yourself, which goes with the love. See how they're all connected? It all starts and it just keeps on growing and growing. So if your root chakra is kind of wonky, look at it this way. If your root chakra is like say you have a garage, and the foundation's bad cracked, and you're standing there, and so you're already kind of off kilter a little bit. That's your foundation, and now as you develop, here comes another one, here comes another one, here comes another one. So it's kind of like that video game where you have that table and the boxes fall, and you're trying to catch all those boxes without all them toppling over. So you're going through your life struggling, trying to keep everything balanced, and it doesn't work, and something's gonna blow out. You'll hurt something, and you'll have a heart. It's just something. Your adrenals will go something, because you cannot just keep going like that. So with the throat area, this is standing on your truth. It's speaking your truth. I find a lot of problems here now going unchecked. This is why people have thyroid issues. This is things that were said that they wish they didn't say. This is things that they didn't say that they wish they had, and maybe somehow now it's too late. And this is also, as I mentioned, negative self-talk. What are you saying to yourself? Are you listening when other people cut you down? Are you agreeing with them, and are you saying that to your own self? We don't want that. We want unconditional love for this self, and we want to always speak kindly to ourselves. Okay, so this color is electric blue. And a lot of times our throat closes in on ourselves. Another thing is suppressing lies. So if we had a really dark childhood and we've never allowed it to come up for healing, say we just tamped it down, then that is how that energy kind of folds in on itself. Because here's something, with overcharged throats, you're working real hard to only let this much words through, and you're working super hard to not say stuff, okay? You're going to have an issue in your throat, your neck, anything around there. That will directly result from an unhealed throat chakra. So it's important to speak kindly, to stand on your truth, to allow past pains to come up and process them. Let them out. Who wants to walk around with all this gook? Because that'll just fester. We don't want that, okay? So we clean that out. You guys might even feel some of this energy as I'm doing it, because I know I do. and just having a conversation. Or even if somebody calls me the night before, I connect and they start feeling the healing energies already. It's just, it's crazy how it works, but it's awesome. Okay, so we want to open up that throat area. And just so I don't forget, I want to mention about the chakras, like we may view them as balls. They're easy to reference as balls, indigo ball, blue ball, and so forth. They're actually cylindrical, so they're like tubes. All right, and a lot of us who have had trauma or some really unfortunate events or something that we just try to lock away that we never want to visit again, seals off the chakras in the back. Well, you can't go through life just like breathing out or even just breathing in. You have to have both. So for a lot of people, I will wedge off that whatever it is. Sometimes it looks like hard caramel or like a candy apple. When it gets all frozen and sticky, it'll present differently. But anyways, I'll remove that, and then once I've restored all your chakras to where they're supposed to be, I'll pull the energy up through it so you can breathe again. Okay, so this is what happens when we protect people who have hurt us by suppressing lies, by not speaking the truth. All right, and that is this color blue here. Okay, so next we're going to go up to your brow chakra or third eye chakra, and the color is indigo. And I think I've got one right here. Yeah. And in your third eye chakra, ooh, love, 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 love. This way. Okay, now in your brow chakra, we have something that's called a pineal gland. And here's more interesting tidbits. Isn't this fun? Are you guys learning stuff? You can look at places like the Vatican and ancient stuff. Look at the ancient Romans, the ancient Greeks, the ancient Egyptians. And the Vatican itself, they have big pine cones. Because they knew the pineal gland, it's like a antenna. And you could communicate through it. This is the seat of your intuition. Okay, it's you can tune into there. It's like I can give you a look and you know what I'm thinking. The mother's intuition. This is the seat of your intuition. And yes, telepathy, because I'm going to say, you want me to say that word, and so do I. Yes, telepathy. If we don't have clarity in there, a lot of people don't have clarity in there because they have expectations. Forget expectations. There is no right and no wrong. You are energy. You are here. Okay? And you're fluid. So it's always changing. You don't want to stay stagnant. If you look up the work of Dr. Bruce Lipton, I love that guy. He shows that he's a doctor guy who now is more of a spiritual guy, but he's got all the data because he did it. He put like cells in petri dishes and can tell you that the cells move towards something that is good for it and away something that is bad for it. Well, how do cells know? They're all a part of you. So you want to think good thoughts, but don't put expectations on things. Don't say, I'm supposed to be feeling this. Don't do that. Loosen up and let it go. You are energy. Energy flows. You must be always flowing. Okay, so in here, some things that I have been seeing with people is that they're in prison. I feel when I go up into this area that there's like these prison bars around there. So I'll go and I'll like break them or whatever it is, and I'll find a cap on top sometimes, a floor. I remove all that stuff. And then I fill that third eye with the person's essence. And I bring clarity. Now, I also like have a conversation with your chakras when I'm doing that work. So I tell it what it's supposed to be doing. And so this helps bring clarity to your intuition. When it's overcharged, we're delusional. And a lot of the stuff that's in there has been put there by others. Oh, you're crazy. What are you doing that for? You don't know what you're doing. Don't trust your intuition. Or if you don't trust your intuition and it's mangled with an unhealthy identity, I'm not sure who I am, I don't know how to be because somebody wants me to be small, and I don't speak on my truth because I might be wrong. Well, guess what? Now we're getting all messed up here. I'll see how that happens, and it all gets backed up. So a healthy third eye chakra is one that it can receive intuition and trust it as truth. It's not a believe, it's a knowing. You know. You don't have to question it because you know. And you let it come down into your spoken word, into what you're saying to yourself, and it all resonates all the way down and all the way back up again. An undercharged one, well, if it's out of whack either way, there's delusions. There's an inability to trust. We're delusional. Let me check my cheat sheet. Living in fantasy, closed to new ideas, confusion, lack of insights. If you really feel you got a great idea and you got it off the ground, but it's just not growing wings, you might just need to tune up in your third eye. And then overactive, living in fantasy, hallucinations, and overambitious. All right, so that's the third eye chakra. Color is indigo. So you could, another thing with these frequencies, colors, notes on the scale, you could also eat that color food because it's that color, it's that frequency. Yes, that is how it works.
And so, even in your house, to have your house decor in your room and
exactly. So. Yep. So you could bring in that color of a recliner, or accentuate. Just bring in that color. You don't even have to think about it, but hang a picture maybe of a bluebird or anything like that. Subconsciously, it's resonating with you. And here's a nice way to think about that. If I have a violin and I pluck the A string, and I have a violin here, and I don't touch it, the A string is going to start to vibrate over here. So when you don't have a healthy third eye chakra, and you bring in some indigo and you eat lots of blueberries, that color food, it's going to wake it up. It's going to start to resonate in there. It will help you. So will an energy healing, but just saying. Yes, isn't that so cool? Okay, so one more. So number 7 is at the top of our head, above our head, and it is purple. Okay, and that is the crown chakra. Ooh, I love them all. Ooh, okay. Now the crown chakra is outside of yourself. It's on top of your head. And yes, you could look at it as a ball, but when I work on it, I work it as a cylinder. And this is our connection to everything spiritual. So this is where Grandma comes to tap in. And if you allow it, it can get into your intuition. And you could say, oh, Grandma says, I need to turn. I need to turn here. Don't go that way. And then later you found out if you went that way, there was an accident. That's your intuition. But maybe Grandma was tipping you off. This is your connection to all sentient beings. Your connection to all that is. All energy. Everything that's outside of you. It's a beautiful place to hang out, but you can't live there. You can't just pick one chakra and just live there. It's very important that they're all opening, all functioning, and talking to each other, and that they're firing out both the front and the back. And really, when I do your healing, I bring it outside of your body and let you feel that frequency. And so something that's really cool that I do, somebody's here because I'm getting an itchy nose, and that's just one of the things that happens in my office. Is that maybe Grandma, who knows? Something else that I need to mention. After that. Okay. So in this crown chakra, you can think purple. Now I do some wonderful meditations, and I am actually seeing somebody right now in my mind's eye. So it's my intuition seeing who's there. Who's on that TV screen in my purple chakra. Now, when I do an energy healing, I make sure that I clear them. And guess what? Sometimes I blow them up. I'll save a little heart, your center, your core, your essence, and I'll blow the rest of it up. And I'll recreate it so that they're all opening, all functioning. It's new. And then I expand your energy so you get to feel your new energy, and it's beautiful and wonderful. So I'll bring this purple down through your whole system. All of them have to be opening and functioning all the time. So that is the 7 chakras and the associated colors.
And then we, again, guys, she just broke down the 7 chakras. Also, too, we did focus on, she's also explaining the aspect of color therapy as well. The artist is myself on all the artwork that you're seeing right now. These are all tools that she's going to be implementing in her work as well.
I would love to hear a little bit.
Basically, how I got started into I am what they call an eco artist. I make artwork and fashion out of recycled materials, repurpose, reuse. Everything that I create, everything that has a purpose for healing the mind, body, and soul. So you are what you eat, you are what you wear, you are what you think. That's why we have a motto called Live the Rebel Life, which means you're living a life, standing in your own truth. And actually, a lot of people put healing into a box where it's on a 30-day thing, and it's not like it's on a timer. So it's a reviving cycle of life changes. And what I did when I was going through a hard time in my life, I did a lot of meditation. I did a lot of soul searching. I did a lot of clearing. You also helped me with that as well. And from that, from the clearing came a lot of this artwork that you're looking. We're going to scan the room too in a second so you can see all of them. A lot of the artwork and stuff came to me through dreams, came to me through different frequency. Every time it came to me, I went and I created that image, that frequency, and I put it to the artwork. So every art coincides with the color of the chakra. So, and I also did that for my children as well, because we all suffered. You know, when you lose a family member, it affects the whole family. Oh, yeah. So that I began the process not only for myself but for my kids as well. So, you know, changing the room decor, changing the foods, you know, being more positive in your choices in your life. Sometimes when you have a whole shift in your life as a whole, you have to actually find the balance within yourself first. Because sometimes you try to help everyone around us, and we kind of lose sight of, you can't help anyone until you get yourself right.
Right, yeah.
So from that, from that came, you know, all the artwork she's going to be featuring in her work. And also when she teaches about color therapy, it just makes more sense. Some of the artwork I actually went a step further, has crystals in it. So if you hang it in a certain part of your room during your meditation, or if you do yoga, you can actually, it'll make a difference.
I love this. I want this one.
Oh yeah. And then most people don't realize too, what I did too, even if you take off the paintings and you spread them all around the room, like when you go in different areas, I want to find out after in a couple months what the reaction is, because you know, when you group them together, because sometimes people want to line things in a line, because again, you say you think of chakras, you think of the balls, 1, 2, 3. We just got to get out of that mentality. So I think I'm eager to see what people gravitate towards, because whatever you gravitate towards is actually meaningful to you and your purpose. And
it means that's what you need.
So. But again, she'll have this, the first batch. I'm actually also collaborating with other holistic healers as well. What I do appreciate about your background, the educational format, your personal, what I can say, I can't even explain it. You're approachable. You know, some people they're into this and it's like, what the hell are you talking about? And you know, I
like to teach everything that I know.
Yeah,
I teach workshops out of here.
Yeah, too. It's like real. It's like you're talking to your sister or your neighbor. Yeah. You know, because some things people want to break it down. It's really not that serious. It's really not that difficult. Yeah. And I just think a lot of that comes from people just making it, you know, about themselves and not really about their healing. Yeah. So when this collection that I put together, it deals with the frequency, numerology, even the colors I use, and even the paints that I made out of recycled materials as well. So it all has a purpose, understanding, and it breaks down the 7 chakras. Also want to add too on the back, I put a number 9 because I am a life path number 9, and I have this little movement, all the 9s. It's called Rebel Cloud 9. So we all tend to you know, come together and help each other out and lift each other up, because you do have life path numbers that connect to others. And it's sometimes when you're attracted to somebody, you don't know why you and that person have been friends for 100 years.
Right.
Nothing breaks, the tie that you have. It's because that person's connected to you, numerology wise.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everybody's here for a reason or a season. We just, again, I think I appreciate you because sometimes it's hard for us to know when to cut the cord from a lot of things. Because we all want to be able to move forward, but still try to hold on to. You can't hold on to anything.
Right.
It's impossible.
Yeah. The healthiest thing to do is to not have attachments.
And I just think this was a total change, and I never knew that I could even paint. But it's just, this is what, sometimes we have to really stay open, and like you said, you talked about receiving. We always want to express what we want to do instead of receiving the knowledge first. And sometimes I would tell people, if it's uncomfortable, that's the path you should be on.
That's right. Right. Because how else are you going to grow if you're complacent? We don't want to be comfortable, but the ego mind wants us to be comfortable. The soul says, let's grow, let's do things, go for it.
And I'm eager to, once again, you'll have, give everybody your location here, especially for, we have 3 cameras going here.
So these are going to be available for sale here at my office. I am in Orchard Park near 5 Corners. The physical, now, before I give you the physical address, I'm not like a walk-in. You've got to make an appointment.
The keyword, make an appointment. People in her specialty, and, it's not something, and then again, it's not something you just wake up and like, oh, I'm going to just pop in. It takes a lot for you to really think about what you want to do. And I just want people to get uncomfortable. A lot of people get embarrassed because sometimes I think we believe, oh, I'm so successful. Oh, we create these images from society.
And that's dangerous.
And then when we kind of like get off our path or we kind of feel depressed, it's okay. Some people, they try to live up into this hype so much that they get embarrassed to come to a person like you.
Right,
so how do you deal with that type of
Yeah, well, it's what you said. I'm approachable is what it is. So people will Google search maybe psychic near me or energy healer, and they'll find a picture and they'll say that they connected, and then they come in. So if that works for you, then that's awesome. It's definitely by appointment only, and you might go around a couple times. Like you might say, I really like to see her, and then you don't. But I have learned to trust in the timing.
Yes.
Don't force anything. When you're ready, you'll make that appointment. And I've made it really easy. You can go on to my Facebook business page.
Right on her Facebook page, you can click on it. It says book appointments.
Yep.
Her number's on there. The address is on there on all of these feeds. We're doing live feeds. So hello everybody. My feed, if you want to follow me, Live the Rebel Life at Tamora Lee Jewelry. You can follow that on all of my feeds, Instagram, IG. We'll have all these videos on her page, my page. Also at Get the Buzz 716. That's my prime business that promote local talent going global. And what Get the Buzz do, we actually dispel what people consider stereotypes. For example, just because you're a healer don't mean you can't be a metaphysical, you can't be in physics, or you can't be a doctor. You understand?
I was a computer programmer.
So we try to dispel the stereotypes of industry where there's a lot of people who work in certain industries, but they're very in tune with, they have a stargaze. So we just got, we're all about dispelling the presumptions about people, whether they look like, what religion they follow, that, we all have something to offer Earth. And I just think if we're receptive to each other, things will get better over time.
Yeah, we got to open our heart, get out of the head, drop in the heart, open the heart, and
it ain't that serious. My motto for 2019, because you see a lot of things going on, so it's okay to tune out. It's not that serious. I tell people it's not that serious. A lot of these things that they're doing it's on purpose, like you talked about earlier, the psychology of everything, and it keeps us in an emotional bubble.
Keeps us in fear.
Yeah. So.
Like I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV since 2009 because it doesn't matter. I don't care. What I do is I'm excited to go to bed because I love dreams and getting messages. I'm excited to wake up because I get to help people, and then I help people, and so they come in and they're down and they leave and they have a smile on their face, and I'm like high on life, like every day.
And that's a positive approach to take. And here at Rebel Life, we always teach everybody, no matter what you look like, what race, religion, creed, gender, live in your own truth, live in your life, live in your own spirit, live the life that you want to live, and don't base it on everyone else. There's no cookie cutter. Like a lot of things when it comes to, okay, prime example. Everybody right now, you're seeing a way with certain holistic diets and certain people. Like if everyone's the healer, who's coming up to be healed? 'Cause it's like it's become, right? You know, so we got to be careful what we play with as trends and what we actually do. It takes a lot, you know, that goes into becoming a healer. And I just think, you know, with society today, with social media, they make it seem like it's like a pop-up trend.
That's an awesome point.
And
yeah, because you can be a Reiki master online. Never touch the person. I read about chakras. I'm a Reiki master, and I'm gonna go start charging people. Oh my God! You just reminded me of something else too. I was not aware of this. People have like been kind of messed up by energy healers going wrong. I did not know this.
And people have to also too. You mentioned something earlier. Energy transfers. So if that person's not doing the right thing by you, first they're not doing the right thing by themselves. Because if you just pick up a book and you're fly by night, you're not doing the right thing by yourself, and you're not going to do the right thing by people. So energy transfer, just be careful who you open and be receptive to. Just get to know people and don't just run with everything. I'm a firm believer. I research everything. I talk to people, and sometimes you just know by your vibe that when you meet people.
Trust yourself.
Yeah, you just
trust what you're getting.
You know, and then also
your A string and my A string, it's going.
Yeah, you have to be able to, and also too, on a side note, us as collective, holistic, whatever your thing is in the holistic world, we got to support each other.
Oh yeah.
Because I see a lot. You cannot claim to be a holistic individual if you're scared to walk in the dark. Right. A lot of people want to be I like to be in the sun. Sure, we want the days to be sunny 365 days in a year. But the reality is, if you can't master the dark, how are you going to master the light? And that begins with, you know, self-awareness and knowing who you are.
Super important point.
And weaknesses.
We don't like looking at our shadow side. So that is something that I do, is help people with shadow work. And what is shadow work? It's those parts of us that we don't like. It's those situations and events and traumas that we stuff back in the closet and we say we never want to see that again. You're sealing off all your back chakras, and it's not healthy. Yeah. So,
but I appreciate you taking the time and everything.
How fun! How fun! I love this art.
Your address and your feed for social media. Feed to everybody.
The address, I didn't give it once yet, but it's 3623 Eggert Road in Orchard Park. Right across from Eggert Road Grammar School and YMCA Day Camp. And right off the thruway, too, so it's easy to get to. And then Facebook, it's Suzanne Suchan Healing. At Suzanne Suchan Healing is my Facebook page, and my website. It's my name. You can wear it out.
And then all these feeds, everything will be featured on @GetTheBuzz716. If you're not familiar, follow us here on Facebook. And also at Tamora Lee Jewelry. That's all the feeds. And also, too, it's important, too, as artists, as holistic healers, that we also lean on each other. You also meditate every day. You also give support. Everything is a give and take. It's a balance. If we're not balancing each other, it's kind of like purposeless.
Right, yeah. You're so awesome. I got to give you a hug.
And the artwork for this collection, I know a lot of people know me from the fashion world. This would not be blended with fashion. When it comes to holistic, when it comes to environmental things, I want to be very strict in how I present it. How it's done. It's just not something I want to display in a gallery for people to come take pictures.
But it is going to be available for purchase right here at my office.
But again, contact Suzanne. And again, thank you for tuning in. And as always, live the rebel life.
Are you going to show them some of your stuff now?
Oh, yes.
At least I'll walk with you. Because I have my phone and you have yours. Or maybe I can take this one too.
Okay, we're gonna actually we're gonna walk through. Now we're gonna walk through her
and
office.
Linda.
And do a panoramic view.
Hi, Joelle.
If you didn't forget the last dress, I know we're gonna cut out for this one.
I'm gonna follow you.
She's located. Shout out your address again while we're
3623 Eggert Road in Orchard Park.
At Orchard Park, appointment only. I'm going to post her link on this feed as well. And again, for all the artwork that's associated with color therapy will be available here. You can contact her through inbox as well. I'm also going to post all the individual pictures on the feed as well, so you guys can see each one. Those will be posted tomorrow, along with the pricing and then her information as well. And remember, this is appointment only, and follow her on her feeds. And as always, you can follow me on Get the Buzz. Well, you can see it's a very relaxing.
I love it. I love this stuff. Hey, Tim!
And again, thanks for everybody who's tuning in. Again, you just listening to Susan Suchan.
And Linda.
Healer, energy healer. And she also featured Tamora Lee color therapy art that's going to be featured at her location as well. You can follow us both. All the feeds are going to be attached here as well. You can make an appointment with her if you want a healing session. Or if you want to just meet her. I know a lot of people get leering and get uncomfortable. But she's very approachable, very knowledgeable, very spiritual. All walks of
I'm safe,
life,
guys.
All backgrounds, totally safe. You want to just give her a call.
These are things I made.
To feel her vibes, that's okay too. So again, all the features are going to be featured on here. And then as well as all the artwork going forward. So again, as always, thanks for tuning in. I Get the Buzz 716, Tamora Lee, and Rebel Behavior. Suzy Woo, live the rebel life. Stay healthy. And remember, you are what you think, eat, wear, breathe. So it all starts with self. So self-awareness, self-love is the key. So live the rebel life. Okay.
Good night, everybody.